Hello everybody, welcome back to Fallout 4 Survival Mode. It is a beautiful day in the Commonwealth and we are heading towards Greentop Nursery to deal with a kidnapping situation. Preston and I. Not the kidnapping of our own son, we will get to that eventually at some point. Jim is focusing at the moment on helping out other people as he slowly makes his way south, probably towards Diamond City. Ooh, no one is here. You're imagining things. God damn it, super mutants straight away. That's not good. But I do have the thing that gives that I should take less damage now from super mutants, so that's something at least. Oh, Mum. Where are you? There you are. Where's your buddy? Oh. Ooh, there's a super mutant over here. Preston's getting shot at. Where is it? Where's the super mutant? Got it. Awesome, lovely critical hit. And it's dead. That's what happens when I get all cocky and go off willy-nilly running through talking about things. It's a lovely day, Preston. It's a lovely day to kill super mutants. I still just don't have that much in the way of ammo. Really need to start farming some ammunition. Right. It sounds like Ness is shooting at things again. So let me put this back up onto the map. And hopefully she won't be glitched this time and I won't have to fight with her. I've never dealt with this lady before, so I don't know how the situation shakes itself out. I heavily suspect that she is
Ness.
So she's glitched again and there are super mutants here now. I have no idea what is going on with this thing. I feel like she's just leading me into one trap after another. Ooh, skirmisher. Skirmishers are quite tough. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm gonna die because I'm... God damn super mutants. Now let's just pop a sim pack as well just to make sure. I couldn't get my first person back up and there we go. God damn it. I'm all the way back here. Okay. Okay, so I'm still being detected. Who are you fighting, Preston? Oh, it's another puppy dog. Okay. Okay. Right, let's get back to 10 Pines Bluff, Preston. And do all that shit again. As punishment for me not saving my game. At least there's a few things in here. No, there is not.
Probably better unload some of that stuff.
Right, so we are back now at 10 Pines Bluff in front of my house. I'm tired. I have bloody everything going on. I need to have something to eat. I could do with having a sleep. What time is it in this silly game? 8 o'clock in the morning, or maybe I can sleep for like 5 hours and it can still be daylight by the time that we get over to the other place. Grab some food. Been sorting out all of the shit that I've got going on. Yeah, and I forgot to save the game. I need to have a little bit of a nap anyway to save the game. Ooh, we're all naked. I forgot to put the Minuteman outfit on. Ooh, there we go. That's better. I look like a Minuteman now. Get rid of a little bit of that tiredness, perhaps. That'll help. That provisioner is back inside of there, and it is now a foggy, foggy day. I have no idea what is going on with Ness and that quest. It appears to be bugged. I get a feeling that that area where the plane is spawns random enemies because it was the random event with the ghouls the first time. It was super mutants that time. And she's just standing there getting kind of glitched, standing over a breeder body and not really doing a lot. It's yeah, it doesn't seem to be the best solution. Now I'm going to sneak if there's any super mutants under this bridge, then they shouldn't be able to get me. Fun fact, the crows apparently aren't real. Are spies of the Institute. I don't know how true that is, or whether that's just a theory, or if that's something I've just made up. It's possible either way. Whoa! There was a wild doggy. I had no idea what that was. Thank you, Preston. Thank you. You just saved my life. Being murdered by a random dog. What is this truck? I was watching a video yesterday of someone using one of these types of trucks to build a little hideout around. It was very cool. Very, very cool. I liked that a lot. Right, so the shooting is going on again. There is shooting and firing. What is she shooting at this time? Oh no, it's not her, it's ghouls. Ghouls versus super mutants. And the super mutants win. Clearly the super mutants won. Yeah, that skirmisher is tough. Once again, I think I'll avoid this area for a moment. It's unfortunate. I'm not entirely sure whether we can snipe them off. What are they shooting at? We'll see what's going on. I feel like this little miscellaneous mission is going to be the bane of my life until I sort it out. Are they hanging around there? Well, there is Ness. Oh, the skirmisher is inside of the plane. So if I'm going to want to do this plane, then I'm going to have to deal with that. These super mutants. Maybe I can get some sneaks on them. Some sneaky sneaks. So the biggest issue is the skirmisher who's inside of there. What bombs do I have? What bombs to take care of said thing? Molotovs. Bottle cap mines as well, I suppose. But he's got good range on him. Right, so we've got 2. Oh, I threw it too far. God damn it. And missed both of them shots. Right. Preston. I think that this is the point at which I need to accept the fact that I shouldn't be fighting super mutants at this moment in time. And avoid that area completely. So where exactly is this place? It's along here. So if I head across around, it's quite far off. This is a tough area to be in, and I'm already beginning to regret my decision to come to this one first. But if I pick it up, there is certain areas that they will send people to, or one of them is on the outskirts of downtown Boston, and if they send me there, that will really, really help pushing things forward. If they don't, well then we'll just deal with that. Oh no, there is nobody here, super mutants. There is nobody here. Not even a one person. My accuracy in facts is awful. I swear to God. They had a prisoner. They've got a settler, and she's hostile. Is she hostile because I just accidentally shot her? Is that what is going on here? Ooh, let's be careful here. Oh, and a mole rat too. Okay. What is even going on here? Okay, I'm being shot at by something. Okay, that's a mole rat. Is it that settler that's shooting at me? No, don't. Stop. Stop shooting at the innocent person. I think that she's innocent. The super mutant isn't innocent, but she might be innocent. So, don't shoot at her. I don't know what's going on yet, and I think that she's only hostile because I accidentally hit her with a Molotov cocktail. There's a very good chance that she's a prisoner.
Thanks a lot.
Is she going to attack me? Oh! Okay. Well, Preston murdered her. She was probably a kidnap victim. She might have even been the kidnap victim that we were supposed to be rescuing, Preston. I'm not sure that this is how it's supposed to go. I'm really not. And I know that it's kind of my fault because I'm the one that threw a Molotov cocktail at her. But I don't think that was the best showing, really. I'm a bit concerned that I might have already... Oh, this mole rat's afraid. Or at least it's acting like it's afraid. Oh. Ooh. Ooh, I saw the inside of Jim's soul. It was very weird looking. Okay. Yeah, I suspect that I was supposed to rescue that lady and I accidentally made her go hostile by throwing a Molotov cocktail at her. I think that she was a prisoner. And I accidentally made her go hostile by throwing a Molotov cocktail at her, and then Preston killed her. And therefore, I'm a terrible person. Well, I'm not getting accused of murdering anybody yet, so that's something. Though the game does seem to say that I've stabbed 2 people in the back, so I'm not entirely sure how that works out. But she doesn't appear to have been innocent, and the game isn't counting that as murder. So I am going to take that as Jim's reputation of being a bloody good fellow remaining intact. Now, I forgot forgot to come down here and grab this thing, didn't I? I spoke about it at the beginning of like the last part, and then I think I forgot to actually come down and grab it. I might have done. My memory is awful. I missed a pretty important... Ooh, there's a door there. A pretty important skill book down here. So we'll see if it's still there. And if it's not... Oh, yeah, it is still there.
Perfect.
Total hack. Turret hacking code. Which, yeah, that is quite important. The ability to be able to hack turrets is really going to help me out in this mode. So there was a door here. What was inside here then? Last time I walked into one of these mausoleums, I got ambushed by a raider who was like, ha ha ha, peekaboo. Okay. That seems fine. Right, so we've got that. I can now hack turrets. That is something, at least. I don't know how that's going to help me out in the great wilder world where everything wants to murder me. But there we go. Did I level up? I must have leveled up. I have no idea anymore what perks I've got, what I've taken. Nothing. I don't even know what kind of build that I'm rocking anymore. I'm just throwing perks about willy-nilly, hoping that they land in a relatively respectable place and seeing what shakes out. So I'm going to follow this road down. We're going to end up at the crossroads by Covenant, which is somewhere I don't actually want to be yet. So I'm going to actually cut across road, which is dangerous. Oh, mutated fern. Someone in Diamond City likes mutated ferns. Keep hold of one of them. Which is dangerous, and I'm clearly going to head into trouble by doing this. But I don't want to go near Covenant just yet. I don't want to. It's a nice place to stop, I think. And there is a nice mystery there tied into a quest. But I don't want to do that yet. And I want to try and do these things all together if I possibly can. So where is this? Where is this? That looks like a nice big building over there. And that looks like an area. Oh, not actually that far from the Taffington Boathouse is right there, which is a settlement, which I could claim. Haven't been sent there yet, but exploring on out this way, I could claim that settlement, and that could be another little house for me up this way, because I wasn't actually planning on using it as a house and would be a save point. I was planning on using it as a house and not actually using it as a settlement. So this is the... Right in front of me, I think, is the Medford Memorial Place, which is where that combat shotgun is. So let me... Yeah, that's there. I'm going to try and claim this little safe house over here, because if I'm going to go and attempt to do that, we've already seen how much I get murdered by super mutants. If I'm going to go and try and get that combat shotgun, then it might be worth having a little safe house just a little bit closer to this area, and not too far from that part of the river which leads over into the city either. So there are mines here, which is fine. I'm not going to set mines off. Preston might be able to set mines off though. That might be a thing. And I might get caught in splash damage by Preston being a bit of an idiot. Right, so there are blood bugs in this area, I believe. Blood bugs. How dangerous are they? And it seems to have a little bit of
This is all mine.
yeah. Ooh. Okay. I don't want to get killed by a blood bug. Ugh. It is shooting all sorts of crap at me. That looks scary. That is a nasty looking bug. Okay. There is another blood bug inside of this house. hopefully not too high a level of one. Well, they're not actually. If I can say, if I could actually hit them, that would be something. Oh, I'm gonna get killed by this thing. Right, big Jim. Big Jim. Ugh! God damn it. At this point, I think I honestly have to ask myself if I am pushing too far forward into a side of the map that I'm not supposed to be yet. Because this is proving quite tricky. And I am really quite squishy. I don't like being so squishy. I'm going to attempt to avoid all combat and just get straight across to Tappington Boathouse. Not Tappington Boathouse. I'm going to avoid Tappington Boathouse because of the blood bugs in there just yet. And I make a holy show of myself against blood bugs. Get over to Greentop Nursery so that I can at least pick up this quest and see what's going to happen from there. See where they're going to send me, at least. And then work out what I'm going to do. I am committed to this reckless path that I have stumbled across. And I'm going to take full advantage of it. At this point, I think that Ness is just completely bugged out. I don't think I'm going to figure out what's going on with her quest unless I kill her and take the key and note from her. And fortunately, we're in an area there doesn't seem to be much shooting and much kerfuffle this time. So maybe I'll get lucky. And she won't be bugged out. Ness?
Ness.
Ness? She's so bugged out. And if I shoot at her, then that's going to count as... Oh, there's Minutemen! Oh, that's nice. Hi, Minutemen! Oh, it's nice to get... Oh, look! Getting a spawn that's actually... Oh, that's actually good for me. Oh, I like this. Oh, I like you. Hello, Minutemen. You came, you saved the day. Nothing new to report, General, just the flight recorder that you wanted that I'm stood right in front of. Can I get to that flight recorder? Can you move out the way so I can get this damn flight recorder? Thank you. That's really kind. Oh, yeah, so this is clearly a spot for random encounters. And Ness is clearly bugged out. Unfortunately, which is, yeah... I don't want to fight with her. I don't want to have to steal the thing from her. Though if I do and she goes hostile right now, I've got a lot of allies at my back. But if I shoot her because she's not hostile, then that will probably mean that I'll get classed as me being a murderer. So if I sneak a little bit closer to her, stay hidden. Can I read this from her inventory? No.
Let's get this over.
Okay. Well, she's gone hostile now, so maybe. No maybes about it. I feel sad. I feel sad that my Minuteman friends are gone. That they have left. And they are again replaced by feral ghouls. And just feral ghouls? Just feral ghouls. I can handle feral ghouls. If it is just feral ghouls. Is Ness shooting at feral ghouls? Is that what's happening now? The mystery of Ness. The mystery of Ness must be solved. Like she's at least attempting to shoot the super mutants this time. I mean, I'm going to stand back and see what happens. If the super mutants take her out, then I can get the goodies. We could perhaps do a pincer movement. I could get around behind them. She is quite tough. She can take out this super mutant. This tough one. He is the last one. Ness versus the super mutant skirmisher. Who will live? Oh. You want to go and fight them? You fight them. I mean, you could help her, Preston. I'm just saying. At this point, her life is pretty worthless, though. I mean, he has a point. How's it going on Ness? Ness is not far off being done. I feel bad that I'm gonna let her die, but like that got bugged out so much. That I really don't have the regrets about it that I probably should. There we go. She's still alive? What? And she's got all her health. She is synth. She's... What is going on with this woman? No, nothing useful, just bottle caps. Just bottle caps and a woman that won't die and is glitched. I don't understand what's happening, Preston. I don't know what's happening in the world anymore. I'm very confused about it all.
Damn it, where are
It's right here, Preston. I can't even hit it through the wall, though. Oh, it's going to start coming down. Right, I'll have to come across here. There we go. Oh, it's going to fall. Let's take that out. Maybe if I actually get rid of all of the bad guys around here, we clear out this area completely. You know, it will... Yeah. Me too. Oh, that skirmisher was tough. Hi, Ness. Are you alright? Are you alright, Ness?
Ness.
She's not of this world. Right, so according to the wiki, this is a bug that you can get, and she's supposed to have gunner mercenaries with her, and the only way to unlock her is to pickpocket her to get the information of it, to unbug the quest. Now that makes her hostile. We know this. I've tried it a few times. So I think I'm going to have to try and do what I was going to do. And this might end terribly. Is that bottle cap mine near her? Where did it land? Not really close enough. Might get some splash damage on her from that. A little bit. A little bit. Not enough, though. Not enough. I don't think that she can die. This is the big problem. Preston, Preston, don't get too close, Preston. Preston, come back here. Come back here. Two bottles. She is a champ. She is a hell of a champ. Preston.
Point it out.
Preston, go and inspect her.
Got it.
Inspect her. Tell me what you think. Is she crazy? Is she of this world? Tell me. I want to know. I really, really want to know. He looked up her ass and he thinks that she's a very strange individual. I agree with you completely. I really, really do. Ness's lead and the Skyline's key. I really, really want this, but she's just gonna murder me. Let's try one more time. Sneaky. Sneaky. Preston, get from up her ass. Yeah, I'm like... Alas for Ness, she was never to be interacted with again. Yeah, she can't die. The only way that I can get her, get the thing is by pickpocketing. I can pickpocket her, get the key and everything, and that will just immediately turn her hostile. I'm not strong enough to kill her at the moment. So, yeah. She has a key and a lead, and she has a key which will unlock a secret compartment in both airline crashes. So that should get some goodies. So we'll come back to her later on when I'm a little bit stronger and tougher, a little bit less squishy, a little bit less likely to get shot in the face immediately and killed. Okay, so here are these super mutants again with their captive. I presume a captive. Are they with a captive? Yeah, she is innocent right now. So let's save her. Let's not shoot. Let's not shoot Molotovs or that sort of thing. Yeah, let's just take out the mutants that have got her hostage. And then maybe she can go to one of my settlements. Maybe. I've rescued her. Where is this one? There we go. Okay. So I saved your life. Are you grateful?
Good neighbor. That place is nothing but trouble.
Hi.
If you work, you eat. It's as simple as that. My back hurts, my feet hurt, everything hurts.
Okay, so there's not really much else. I can't send you anywhere. Can't give you a nice home. Run along home wherever home was for you. At least you're not going to end up in a super mutant's belly. That is something at least. And we didn't murder her this time. That's also a bonus. I will murder this mole rat though. Smack it out of the sky with Big Jim. So I'm going to continue along with the plan to head to Greentop Acre Nursery, Green Place, Greenland. We're going to go to Greenland and find out what's going to happen about this kidnapping malarkey. I have messed around with that lady and her aeroplane far too much. Far too much. Pick up the turret hack thing. Let's not leave that there for other waifs and strays to get their hands upon. I want it. I need it. It belongs to me now. Legendary rad stag. Ooh, the rad stags can actually kill you. I just remembered this isn't one of the does. This is an actual rad stag, and they can actually kill me. They can gore you with their horns. But he had a rad powered metal right leg. Gives strength the higher your rads. That is interesting. That is very interesting. And of course, meat and leather. I like finding little legendary creatures along the way. Rad powered metal right leg. What have I got on my right leg currently? Wastelander. I've got Wastelander on. Well, I'll keep that and I will try and see what I can pull off it and take it back to home base. Just a nice little legendary rad stag out in the middle of the world to give me some meat and some goodies. Maybe my luck is now changing.
As I began to run from my life from the legendary rad scorpion that had just appeared behind me, something occurred to me, and one thing definitely did not. I absolutely utterly neglected to notice the fact that I'd switched my microphone over to mute when I started to fight the pack of dogs that you might have noticed a moment ago, because my husband came upstairs and started talking to our cat, who then wanted to have dinner, and I had to stop for a little while I got everything sorted out. The fact that I'm speaking to you now as the narrator might relay a wild adventurous tale from the past should tell you that when I started recording again, I began yelling only to myself and my husband, who'd gone to bed and was trying to sleep in the next room, about how survival mode is now beginning to troll me. I wanted legendary creatures in the wild, and boy did I get one. Oh, the sight of the bottle caps that had rained down from the sky brought me a feeling of post-survival bliss unlike any that I have ever felt before, and I headed off to reassure Preston that I was grateful for his sacrifice to my Molotov bombardment.
Hello, sir.
Powerful Chinese sword clasped in hand, we headed towards Malden, because I remembered that there was a creation club quest that I could pick up in that area, which would enable my settlers to have free reign on coffee and donuts for as long as they wanted to. Slocum Joe's, however, was being guarded by synths, and so I did what any good adventurer would do. I tried to sneak away, but unfortunately I got spotted and they started shooting at me and at Preston, and Preston started shooting back at them, so I continued to step in and do what all heroes do, and I ran far away and left Preston to deal with the synths. The game then tried to make me feel guilty because he fell in battle inevitably and encouraged me to go back and pick him up, but then I realised that he's tagged as essential and I am not, so sod him. I'm not going back and risking my life just to save him. Greentop Nursery was not that far away, and if he returned to Sanctuary, well then he would be safe and I would not die in a silly attempt to try and rescue him against synths that were too tough for me. Didn't want to lose my snazzy Chinese officer's sword after all. Greentop Nursery looked like a port in the storm, and I was looking forward to being able to stop, relax, save my game and find out what these good people wanted so that I could go off and help them and continue on my adventure, with or without Preston. I wasn't really that bothered either way.
You've got to help. They've kidnapped my wife.
Who kidnapped her?
They said they'd be back for the ransom in a few days. If I don't pay up, they'll kill her. But I don't have that kind of money.
Do you know where they took her?
I'm pretty sure. I'll mark it on your map. We asked the Minutemen for help, but I didn't really think anyone would come. Just bring her back safe.
Well,
Okay.
They did come. I arrived in great style and only to find out that the ungrateful arsehole didn't even have a bed that I could sleep in. Not even a bed, not even a sleeping bag, nothing. So I wasn't able to even save my game after all that I'd been through and secure my Chinese sword here at Greentop Nursery. As punishment, I stole as many of their mute fruit as I could possibly carry in my back pockets and began to sneak off in a southwards direction towards where this gentleman's poor wife was being held prisoner. 5 minutes down the road, I stumbled across this abandoned building and triggered a Brotherhood of Steel side quest that I quite enjoy.
It's fused solid.
The burned out power armor was a little bit disturbing, as was the dead body of Knight Varnum on the floor, but he had a laser rifle and a Brotherhood of Steel uniform, which I like a lot, so I hid behind this desk and got changed.
Ambushed on the road. We're outnumbered 5-1. Varnum, report.
Horse down to 5%.
We'll have to scuttle the armor. We can't
This
let
one
them
too.
have it.
For him!
Damn it. Aspen set the self-destruct. Ferris, fall back. We'll head for the old military base, then try to make it to our holdout. The code will be our call sign.
Useless.
All right, move!
The holotape claimed that the soldiers had headed to a nearby military base. Jim thought that sounded really interesting, and so we abandoned our quest
Lock's really strong.
to find a kidnapped lady from Greentop Nursery and find out what happened to the Brotherhood of Steel. As I began to approach the National Training Yard, I began to feel the fear, my gamer senses telling me that feral ghouls and military turrets were around here, and I was genuinely starting to get afraid that I would die before I managed to get inside and save the game. Fortunately, a friendly fragmentation mine and a skeleton were watching guard over a sleeping bag, and so taking some medicine because it looked like it was probably quite dirty in here and Jim might get diseases, we managed to get 3 hours sleep and, more importantly, save the damn game for the first time since 10 Pines Bluff. Somebody had laid frag mines down outside of the entrance to the recruitment office, but with the perks that I took for extra stealth earlier on in the game, that really wasn't much of a problem. Once inside, I have to admit that I was half expecting to be ambushed almost immediately by feral ghouls and for them to be able to quite instantly overwhelm him. But once again, I found that all those extra points that I put into sneak very early on in the game really helped me out. I was able to snipe off a lot of the ghouls from a distance without getting too close or triggering other ghouls to overwhelm me. And at times it actually felt quite amusing, even when I accidentally put my Pip-Boy light on and off, and just hanging out in this corner. They just didn't seem to find me at all. It was bizarre, but yeah, I'll take it. The body of the second Brotherhood Knight was located in an office around the back. Jim was too late to save her, but he did help himself to her laser pistol and her Brotherhood of Steel chest piece, because that shit is awesome. I then grabbed a quick 3 hours sleep and a save on a sleeping bag and used the cooking station to cook up some of the meat that I had gathered. That delicious legendary rad stag, some mole rat chunks, some mutt chops, and a rad scorpion steak. Absolutely delicious, not forgetting the Mirelurk meat. I decided to step away from the Brotherhood quest for now because the next location that it sends you to is a big sort of satellite relay that is filled with super mutants. And if I've learned anything so far in this part, it's that I should not be tangling with super mutants, particularly not on my own. Fortunately, in a nearby abandoned house, there was another puppy dog that needed a home. His name was also Buster, but I intended to change that as soon as I possibly could when the compass decided that it didn't want to carry on scaring me like that evil thing. This good boy Great Dane decided to get called Rufus, and I sent him to 10 Pines Bluff to take care of the settlers there. And with that, another puppy dog was rescued. Sneaking further south, I was somewhat dismayed to find a legendary super mutant skirmisher guarding the bridge that I needed to cross over in order to get to the lower part of the city of Boston. I had the novel idea to use the fallen Brotherhood Knight's laser rifle to blow up the cars that were also on the bridge and create a big explosion that would hopefully take him out in one big boomy hit. And for a moment, I thought that it had worked. I couldn't find the super mutant anywhere. I thought that he had been destroyed. Turns out he'd just gotten bored and taken to the fight to some nearby raiders. Jim decided to play it smart and stand back and watch while the two of them duked it out. The raider Scabber won the day and only had a tiny bit of health. It wasn't a big deal for Jim to finish him off with his sniper rifle. And from the corpse of the super mutant, he got a cunning leather left leg, +1 ability and +1 perception. Likely suitably impressed by Jim's show of patience and combat prowess, this excitable little robot popped out of the big ship nearby and engaged in a conversation.
108th Infantry Regiment, 2nd Battalion. Ahoy there. 'Tis Providence, a member of the Congressional Army, is delivered to us in our hour of need.
I was in the Army, but what's the Congressional Army?
Standing orders, sir. Proclamation 3. All members of the U.S. Army are hereby members of the Congressional Army. The captain requests your presence on the bridge. At the double quick, sir.
Thus triggering the side quest, Last Voyage of the USS Constitution. An interesting little side quest, but we won't be doing it just yet.
No way to
because
pick this.
I found a condo! Sadly, the door is currently locked. This is one of the Creation Club's safe houses that I have mentioned in the past, and there is a little quest tied into gaining access to it, which Jim is about to indulge in. In a nearby rock, there was a little note, written by a chap named Charlie, instructing his friends that he had gone off scavenging and where they could possibly find him. Heading in that direction, we come across a random encounter with a friendly neighborhood chem dealer.
You look like you could use a little pick-me-up. Am I right?
Who are you?
I'm Stash, your friendly traveling chems dealer. I don't mind the crew. They're just overprotective.
Stash? How'd you get that name?
Parents on chems. But hey, it suits me. So, what'll it be? Take a look.
Let's see what you got.
Exactly what you need.
And sold her some things that I had absolutely no interest in keeping. Heading on my merry way with slightly lighter pockets. One of my new neighbours had a slightly intimidating security system, and Jim ran away as fast as he could before he could get accused of trespassing. We stuck to the back alleyways so as not to get ourselves in further trouble. Admired some of the local architecture. Encountered a nearby community living inside of an amphitheatre who I decided that I didn't really want anything to do with just yet. Stumbled across a location that sounds like it's full of good times. Got caught between a rock and a rough place.
So I'm keeping an eye on those mutant freaks over at Trinity, and this guy comes out of nowhere sprinting down the road. I know he must have seen him standing there from way down the street, but he didn't slow down or even duck into one of the alleys.
What the hell? What'd they do to him? The hounds must have ripped him to shreds. By the way, this guy ain't got nothing on him. Like 10 caps and a desk fan? Who carries around a desk fan?
Ah, damn it. Anyway, they didn't do nothing to the guy. I think they were as confused as I was. Get this, the guy was making sounds.
What do you mean? Was he screaming or something?
Not really. It was almost like he was making motorcycle sounds, like he was pretending he was riding one or something. He was even making gear shifting noises and everything.
So what? Did they just let him drive right by?
Yeah, but he didn't just drive by. He reached in his bag, but didn't seem to take anything out. Until he pulled his hand toward his mouth like he was biting something. Then it looked like he threw it into the Trinity lock.
What the fuck? What was it? What did he throw?
Nothing. I think he was acting like he threw a grenade at him or something. A second or two later, as he drove his bike down the road, he made a loud boom sound, as if the grenade he had just thrown had exploded.
Are you serious? What a fucking whack job. Whoa! I think this guy's still moving.
Eavesdropped on an interesting conversation between two raiders and discovered the corpse of Charlie, who has the Charlestown condo key in his pockets. Don't mind me, Mr. Sentrybot, just passing through. I don't want any trouble. Just around the corner from the condo is a little building, the Charleston Laundry, inside of which is a special magazine allowing Jim to get the most fashionable haircut in the Commonwealth with a hornet. Now that we have the key to unlock the Charleston condo, I could go inside and show it off. I'm not actually going to do that in this video simply because of the lack of live commentary and the way that I'm editing it. I don't feel like I can do it justice, unfortunately, with the timing on it. I will show it off properly in a later on video, I promise. Secretive, sordid business taken care of, Jim heads on out to finally rescue that settler from Greentop Nursery before the raiders kill her. She's been in their hands for probably a couple of days now, and time is probably running out. I don't know what this pack of dogs did to piss me off, but I decided to use all of the explosives on them. I think Jim just really, really likes puppy dogs, and so the stray, vicious ones just make him irrationally angry, and so he has to murder them in the most direct way possible, including using every weapon at his disposal, because I apparently cannot fight alpha vicious mongrels on my own. But the Chinese sword came into play and did a really good job. If you're beginning to wonder whether or not I've edited out any deaths during this sort of post-live commentary parts of the video, rest assured that I most certainly have not. In the meantime, this lone super mutant doesn't look like he's much of a trouble, but he is equipped with a missile launcher, and if he spots me, there is a good chance that I will end up dead. So currently, Jim is contemplating sniping him from a distance and wondering how much damage he can do. The super mutant responded by pulling out his missile launcher, and I think I just shit my pants. We went from half the health down to 3/4 of the health down, simply from him being in caution as opposed to me being hidden. Enemies can randomly start firing if they're in caution and they have an idea where you might be, but not that super mutant. He was not the one. He did, however, have a lovely little camp set up on top of the bridge with a lovely sleeping bag that seems far too small for him to sleep in, but I am more than prepared to take advantage of to get a good night's sleep. Unfortunately, I was not equipped with any stuff to prevent me from getting an infection. I decided it was worth taking the risk. Coming up on Backstreet Apparel, the raiders outside were no real bother. And I leveled up to level 17, taking one of them out. I let Nora finish off the turrets. The raiders inside are having another one of those wonderful conversations that I enjoy eavesdropping on.
You have any more stories like that?
How much time you got? Yeah, I have a few. Let me see. A couple years back, before I met Clutch, me and a couple friends found a young kid on the north side of the Charles. He wasn't that young, probably around 18 or so. Anyway, after hanging out with him for a while, it started to get dark, so I built a fire. I kid you not. As soon as I lit the first match, the kid screams, "What are you doing?" and knocks the match out of my hand.
You knocked the match out of your hand? Why did you do that?
Shh! I'm telling a story. So, yeah, he knocks the match out of my hand. I was so surprised that I swung and broke his nose. He said he was sorry, and get this. He said he was afraid of fire.
He was afraid of fire?
I just told you he was afraid of fire. You keep interrupting me, it's irritating. As soon as he told me that, I thought of something. I quickly apologized for hitting him and told him it's nothing to be ashamed of. That night, me and the others got this kid so drunk so fast, he passed out within an hour. We then dragged him to the banks of the Charles. We also dragged 6 or 7 mattresses and tied them in a circle with one in the middle.
Mattresses? What did you need the mattresses for?
Really? Did you seriously just ask me that question? It's a goddamn story. All you have to do is listen. So yeah, we tied all these mattresses together, and then we placed one mattress in the middle and put the kid on it. We doused all the mattresses with gas, except his, and then lit them on fire and pushed them down into the water. We followed the burning mattresses down the river, laughing our asses off, waiting for the kid to wake up. After 5 minutes, we realized the kid wasn't going to wake up, so we all started throwing rocks at it. After a couple of hits, the kid's awake. At this point, the flames were huge. Imagine what it must have been like for him. Waking up, not knowing where he was, and all he sees is fire. The kid tries to stand up, but can't get
In honor of the story, I decided to give them a trial by fire. The first guy went down pretty easily. The storyteller killed me, likely adding my death to her many lists of tall tales. Second time around, I decided not to give them the opportunity to have a conversation,
A kid on the north side of the Charles.
interrupting them with a frag grenade. Instantly killed the raider psycho. But the scabber once again was proving a little bit tougher.
Only a fucking coward hides. Okay, what the shit? Who is that?
Ironically, the sneak was working so well she still didn't know where I was,
Who's out there?
which slightly worked to my advantage. I attempted to snipe her,
Someone's out there.
she now knew where I was. But she didn't make it. The nearby turret alerted the guys out of the back. Once again, I allowed Nora to take that out.
Had to play hero, huh?
And though there was some hooping and hollering and taunting, they didn't actually come out to try and find me. Not even Clutch herself.
That's it.
Please, you've got to help me.
Are you the one who was kidnapped?
Oh, thank God. Someone sent you after me? Yes, they're holding me for ransom. But I know we can't pay what they're asking.
Don't worry. I'm here to rescue you.
Oh my God. Thank you. Let's go.
This lady was so grateful for the rescue that even after I left Backstreet Apparel and came back inside, she continued to follow Jim. I think she was a little bit in love with him or infatuated or something, even though I warned her that doing so would likely get her killed because I was going back to kill Clutch. A prediction that seemed somewhat prophetic as she got killed. And then so did I. Third time hopefully lucky, I threw a grenade in between the two raiders who were having the conversation, hoping that it would do more damage coming from being hidden. It took the first one out completely and all but crippled the tougher one, so that it wasn't then too difficult just to snipe her off and kill her. Nora once again finished off the turret. I eavesdropped on Clutch and her boyfriend having a lover's tiff.
Relax.
Fucking relax when I'm ready to fucking relax. Got it?
I got it. Jesus. Why are you always in such a bad mood?
So alive, ain't you? You're thanking me instead of bitching all the time.
And then took care of him
Fuck was that?
with a frag grenade to the face and finishing him off with a combat shotgun before he could hit me with his bladed pipe again. Sealing the door, it was just me and Clutch who was hiding around the corner. One-on-one, she was a little bit tougher than I was anticipating her being, on account of the fact that she had pretty decent weapons in the form of a 10mm pistol and a calibrated sniper rifle.
Are you the one?
Leaders taken care of, I rescued the hostage
Don't worry.
Oh my God.
and got the hell away from Backstreet Apparel before she could realise that I didn't want her anywhere near me and I was finally free. Not wanting to go through that again, I took a nap on the super mutant's bed. Heading back through Lower Boston, I felt like I was in the middle of a war zone. It didn't feel safe no matter where I turned. I believe that this sentry bot was getting well and truly fed up of my shit as I ran through his property for the 5th time. And I decided that it was more than past due that I pay a visit to my good neighbours at Bunker Hill.
You there, caravan or raider?
What?
I said caravan or raider. Which are you?
I'm here on my own.
Freelance, huh? Alright. Come on in, but no gunfire. Market's open. You can do as much trading as you like.
I scaled many white stone steps in search of an artifact that would give me an edge over members of my same gender. Met an entrepreneurial young lady who I just adore to a million pieces.
The market's in the back, bar's in the corner, and the outhouse is over the wall. Bye.
Got busted by a guy who works at Cabot House.
You'll find I'm very persistent.
Do I know you?
No, but I've heard of you. I'm always looking for people who know how to handle themselves in dangerous situations.
What's the job?
I don't know yet. Whatever needs to be done once my boss has had a look at you. I can assure you that it will be dangerous, and that you'll be paid fairly.
I don't mind danger, so long as I get paid well enough.
You'll get paid the starting rate, like everybody else. If you turn out to be as useful as you claim, then we can talk about a raise. By the way, I'm Edward Deegan. You'll mostly be working for me, but you'll need to talk to my boss first. His name is Jack Cabot. He likes to personally interview everyone I hire. He's careful like that. Come down to Cabot House in Beacon Hill and ask to talk to Jack. I'll let him know you're coming.
Load a little.
I met Deb.
I'll buy
She
anything
runs
you
a
don't
shop,
need,
and I like her
sell
very
everything you
much.
This your store?
Yeah, you got it. Caravans come through here. I buy whatever they don't want, fix it up, and sell the good stuff to the next caravan. But hey, no reason I can't sell to a drifter like you. Caps are caps.
What's your opinion of Bunker Hill?
Well, it's nice enough. Grew up with the caravans, so I feel right at home here. Don't like how we have to pay raiders protection money, but that's the cost of doing business in the middle of everywhere. Speaking of which, I got a lot of useful supplies here that need a home. Look at them, so lonely.
You give raiders protection money?
Yep. Surprised Mayor Kessler managed to pull that off, but she's convinced him that Bunker Hill is worth more alive than dead. I hate that we don't stand up to him, but what can we do? We're caravan folk, not an army.
You have any paying work?
Yeah, I have something. It ain't easy, though. Caravanners just love swapping tall tales. But I've heard one story enough times, there's gotta be some truth to it. Apparently, the Northern Road goes straight through an old military training yard that's just crawling with a horde of feral ghouls. And that's cutting into my bottom line. So you take care of that, and maybe I can throw a few caps your way.
How many ghouls we talking about?
Who knows? The number keeps growing the more drinks the caravan hands down at the way station. No matter how many of them there are, they're scaring away caravans and customers alike.
I'll take care of your...
Great. If you want to stock up first, you never know when one of my knickknacks will keep you alive.
These fellows were having an interesting conversation that I decided I wanted to be a part
Railroad
of.
is the only one standing up to the Institute. So Gary's what?
Hey, you.
Kidnapped. That
Talk some
settlement
sense
Lucas
into my
Miller was talking
numbskull
about?
son.
Wiped out.
Getting involved with the railroad is just trouble.
What's the railroad?
The freedom fighters, willing to risk their lives for sins. And that means they fight the Institute. Only ones that do.
What? You think that's noble or some bullshit? That just makes them idiots. No son of mine is going to throw his life away with those lunatics.
And what are sins?
Synthetic people made by the Institute. Look so human you can't tell them from us.
They're monsters is what they really are.
And how do you know that? Have you ever met one? If you can't tell who's a synth or not, they can't be all that bad.
It's always good to help people.
I have no problem helping people. Since, though?
All I do here is help crusty old caravan hands, no offense, go blind off rot gut. At least the railroad's fighting the Institute. And why not save synths?
Might as well go off and join the Deathclaw Preservation Society.
What did the Institute do to you?
Ah, Gary. He is, well, was one of Cricket's hired guns. He hits the road and comes back to find his wife missing.
Yeah, so the Institute kidnaps people. I'm not saying I like it, but the world's a dangerous place.
You have any work?
Well, there is one thing.
Dad, you're not gonna send him on that same wild goose chase.
Hey, he brought it up, not me. As I was saying, before us Savaldis started slinging rotgut for thirsty caravan hands, we came from a line of Minutemen. My grandpa, Brent Savaldi, was the last. He died fighting raiders just outside Malden. If you could find any of his personal effects, well, he didn't mean the world to me.
Any idea where he might have fallen?
Somewhere northeast of Malden. That's where they found the bodies of the rest of his squad. The raiders tore them apart, mutilated the bodies. Once, the Minutemen held their own against the Institute, but in the end, even raiders were too much for him.
If his grandpa was a Minuteman, I am definitely going to try and help him out. He sounds like he was a hero. I like heroes. Deciding to follow up with Deb's quest first to finally clear out the training facility that I went to earlier on, I headed back up north. This area looked familiar to me, and I was a little bit convinced that there was a settlement very nearby, close to those water towers that I could see just then. Spotting a Brahmin in the distance, I know that I was right, and I found County Crossing. This Brahmin's name is Idiot, and he is the property of Doc Weathers.
Spend your caps, and I'll make it all better.
Are you really a doctor?
Am I a doctor? Let me show you my degree from the School of Saving Wise Asses like you. I'm a positive institution in these parts, so you need help or what?
That business taken care of, the settler had a quest for me.
Is there some kind of problem?
We're having a lot of trouble with a group of raiders. Stealing our food, our supplies. Do you think you can persuade them to leave us alone?
Any idea how many raiders we're talking about?
No telling, I'm afraid. This time there were 3, but who knows how many are back at their base.
Don't worry. I'll take care of those raiders for you.
Oh, good. It'll be a relief not to have to worry about them.
Reaching the training facility, I was again nervous. Not because I didn't know if I was going to be able to save my game this time, but simply because some of the ghouls are particularly high levels inside, into the areas that I hadn't been before, and I was utterly convinced that I was probably going to die at least once. I found the password for the terminal that would let me access the area where the ghouls are going to be in the office upstairs. And then I took a nap just to reassure myself that everything was going to be okay. The first set of ghouls could be found through the door past the lock gate. Turned out to just be a roamer and a regular feral ghoul, so I wasn't too afraid at this point. I was in danger, but I knew that the outside world could get to me at this point. There would be ghouls outside, and there would be a turret that I could take down. What I didn't account for was that ghouls would try to get in here to fight with me, and that I would get pinned in a corner by them. Second time around, there was actually a legendary in there. A feral ghoul Reaver. Reavers used to be extremely tough in Fallout 3. They were one of the hardest enemies in the game. They've been a little bit nerfed in Fallout 4, but I was still well aware of the threat that it posed to me, and had a nervous amount of fear. Its legs appeared to be a little bit crippled, but that wasn't enough. As it launched at me and mutated, I began to see my life flash before my eyes, and then it was over again. I actually made it into the other building the third time around, but I wasn't getting complacent or ahead of myself. There are a lot of ghouls in this area, and some of them are very, very high levels, and particularly nasty ones. Realizing I hadn't selected the quest in the Pip-Boy, I made sure that I had it selected so that I could see where the ghouls were, and the waypoint seemed to point outside of the building that I was in, indicating that I probably didn't even need to be in here in the first place. So imagine my utter delight when the boss of the area turned up in the shape of the Glowing One. Glowing Ones are notoriously tough. They share a few of the traits that Reavers had in Fallout 3, and they can give off a lot of radiation. I just needed to keep my distance from it and hope that it got caught on the wall or it got crippled so it wouldn't reach me. It leapt and I was instantly crippled. I tried to get away. I tried to escape. All the while trying to get Vats to let me at its leg, but all of a sudden it grabbed me and bit me in the neck. That's never happened before. Coming back to life, I felt like I'd been a complete idiot for not checking the quest marker when I first arrived back in the area. It pointed outside and seemed to indicate only a couple of ghouls that Deb wanted eliminating. One of which was inside of this bus. And was a simple feral. The marker pointed upwards and across at the turret, so I decided to take that out, even though it was not a ghoul. The actual ghouls that I was supposed to eliminate came running around the corner. And it was a roamer. Not a legendary Reaver, not a glowing one. Just a roamer. The Chinese officer's sword dealt with him, and his buddy who came along for the ride. And with that, I had completed Deb's quest. It was actually that easy. I died 3 times to dangerous ghouls for no reason whatsoever. I'm proud of myself. Moving on from the training facility, I was making my way back to the place where this all began, and I realised that I had an infection. I'd had it for a while because now it was spreading, and I didn't even realise that I'd caught it. Unfortunately, getting hit by feral ghouls in the face means that you sometimes pick up infections, and in the middle of combat, I didn't even notice. I was ailing. I had been carrying an ailment that I wasn't aware of. Finally, it was a blessed relief to return once more to Greentop's Nursery, to turn in the quest that I began on a whim way back in 10 Pines Bluffs, what felt like years ago, but it was only about 4 hours.
I don't know how to thank you for that rescue you pulled off.
Just remember that this is all thanks to the Minutemen.
Oh, we know. That's why we've decided to join the Minutemen. You can count on our help if you need it.
And with that, Jim and the Minuteman became allied with the settlers at Greentop's Nursery, and the game reminded me that I'm going to have to go back to talk to Preston Garvey when I left him to die a while back. Oh, he's not going to be happy with me. Changing my mind and deciding that these peasants didn't deserve defences, I stole some of their pure water, went and found the lady that I'd rescued.
One thing you should know, stranger. Don't mess with that old insane asylum. Even the raiders know better.
And I scrapped their rug to build myself a bed. We got the job done, and we are here. I will show off the condo as I promised another time once we get back down to that area. I apologise that I kind of cut that out. It would have been far too long with it in. Yeah, whew. This took more work than I was planning on it to take. Things will be back to normal next time around, and I did the best that I could doing post-commentary, which I don't normally do. So thank you, as always, for watching. Come back and join me next time for some more Fallout 4 survival mode.